ICE agents need judicial warrants in order to enter private areas. And if an ICE agent shows up at your door or engages you, you have rights, even if you are not a U.S. citizen. Know your rights with ICE. If approached by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, you have rights. What can I do if ICE is at my door? You do not have to immediately open the door for ICE, and you do not have to speak to ICE. From behind the closed door, you may ask them who they are and to show their badge, ID, or business card through the window or peephole, or to pass it under the closed door. You can ask if they have a judicial warrant. If they say no, you do not have to let them in. You may say, I do not want to speak with you. If they say yes, you can ask them to slide it under the door. To know if it is a judicial warrant, look to see who signed the warrant. A judicial warrant is a warrant from a court signed by a judge. For example, judge signatures may have honorable, on, judge, justice, or magistrate in front of them. In an emergency, such as threat to public safety or a threat to someone's life, ICE can come in without asking your permission. If this happens, you still do not have to speak to ICE. If ICE is looking for someone, you do not need to speak. If you choose to speak, you can ask ICE to leave contact information. While you do not need to tell ICE where the person is located, providing false information puts you at risk. What can I do if ICE is inside my home? If ICE enters your home without your permission, you can tell them clearly, I do not consent to you being in my home, please leave. Saying this may not always stop them, but it may help in any future legal case. If ICE starts to search rooms or items in your home, you can tell them, I do not consent to your search. You can continue to repeat this if they continue to search without consent. You can tell them if there are children or other vulnerable residents in your home. What can I do if ICE stops me on the street or in public? Before you say anything, you can ask, am I free to go? If they say yes, you can say, I don't want to answer your questions. If they say no, you can say, I want to remain silent. If ICE agents try to search your pockets or belongings, you can say, I do not consent to a search. If they search you anyway, you cannot physically stop them, but clearly saying it may be important in any future legal case. What can I do if ICE is at my workplace? ICE can enter the public space of any workplace without needing any type of warrant. Public spaces may include office lobby, supermarket, retail store, or dining area of a restaurant. ICE cannot legally enter the private space of a workplace unless they have the permission of your employer or a judicial warrant. Private spaces are employee-only areas that may include the break room or storage room of a workplace. Employers can ask ICE to show their identification and ask if ICE has a judicial warrant. As in all public spaces, if approached by ICE at work, you do not have to answer their questions and can direct them to your employer. As always, if ICE agents try to search your pockets or belongings, you can say, I do not consent to a search. If they search you anyway, you cannot physically stop them, but clearly saying you do not consent may be important in any future legal cases. What if I am being detained? You can tell ICE you have medical issues or need to arrange for childcare. ICE agents may not speak your native language. You can request an interpreter for any conversation with ICE or for any appointment or hearing you are given. You do not need to sign any documents or answer any questions before you speak with a lawyer. Once detained, you will have the right to make phone calls to your family, friends, community leaders, or attorney. In detention, you can receive visitors, including your family, friends, community leaders, and attorney. Note that each jail has its own rules that visitors must review beforehand. If you are being detained, people in the community may film ICE so long as they do not interfere with officers. If ICE agents are trying to talk to arrest you, starting or continuing to film may put you at risk. You can share with your attorney, once you have one, any audio, video, or written notes about your arrest from you or someone who saw your arrest. If you or a loved one is at risk of deportation, you can make a plan. You can get free and confidential immigration legal advice. Immigrant New Yorkers can call Action NYC at 1-800-354-0365 between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, or call 311 and say Action NYC. You can choose an emergency contact and memorize their phone number. An emergency contact can be someone you trust, a family member, friend, community leader, or a lawyer. You can organize your documents and keep them in a safe place that your emergency contacts have access to. For more information, you can go to nyc.gov/knowyourrights.